Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Nigerian Space TNS. Today we have Esosa, we have Constant joining us as well. We have Ife, Shoops, and myself, Adiola too. How's
Hi
everyone's
everyone.
week? How's everyone doing?
It's doing great. How you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Not bad, man. Not bad. Not bad. Surviving 2020.
I know.
So,
that's that should be a series or something.
Right.
It should be a
honestly,
show.
honestly,
You will be surprised that Nollywood is working on it.
My dear.
part 1 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I think we just need to, whether we like it or not, even though it's the Nigerian space, man. It's a sad week for every Black American, for every African, because of Chadwick Boseman. I didn't know if we're gonna mention that, but that really brought me down this week. Like, damn.
But not just him. Don't forget, was it in Wisconsin? The guy is shot. Seven times also. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the protesters, the gunmen also shot as well. So
yeah, the 17-year-old boy with assault rifle going around shooting people. Like,
a lot of
it's been a very tough week. There was a helicopter crash as well in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the major one.
It really has been quite an emotional roller coaster. Our topic.
I heard just to point out, I heard the
yeah.
helicopter guy that I think we need to give kudos to him that he had to release the fuel before it crashed, because if he didn't do that, he would have killed a lot more people. So people are trying to celebrate him for that.
Yes.
He saved a lot of lives, and we need to appreciate him and his family for that. We're just grateful to God. Even though lives were lost, but I mean, we're still grateful that
it
it's
could have
more
been
than
much
that.
worse. It really could have been much worse. Okay, guys. So, our topic for today is back to the roots. I think it's very of the time. It's very in tune with a lot of issues that have gone on this year. But I must admit, though, that when Shoops had initially suggested the title as simply Back to the Roots, I was kind of like, I felt like it needed something. I felt like it needed something more. But the funny thing is, the more I thought about it, the more it actually kind of resonated with me. I fell in love with it, especially with everything that has gone on with Black Lives Matter. And I'm just thinking about it, that even apart from physically returning back to our roots in Africa, because all of us cannot just up and go, it will not contain everybody. But even all the Black people all over the world.
No, ask Esosa.
It will continue.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
There's land, there's space.
Yeah.
I mean, as somebody in real estate.
That's true.
Okay.
We have land.
Okay.
They should not go to Lagos.
Yeah, not Lagos.
We are trying to get people out of Lagos, please.
Yeah, not Lagos.
The other countries.
Yeah.
Facts. Okay, so I stand corrected. But in all honesty, the thing that made it really stick out to me was when I started really thinking about it, like back to the roots, because it's kind of like to return back to one's roots is really to find the meaning in your purpose, your existence, and just even as human beings, when you start thinking about your purpose on earth, when you start thinking of why you're here, what are you on this earth for, you always have to look back before you look forward. So that back to the roots topic really then actually started resonating with me, like, okay. And it's just so it's of the time, it's timely. I feel like the time is now. I'm not saying by December everyone would have been back in Africa and settled.
December.
The year of return, what they call it in Ghana.
The year of return last year. I just really fell in love with
I feel
just go back
when we were discussing the topic too, we didn't decide on the topic for a long time, and we already had Back to the Roots. We had an episode last week, and we talked about the Afrobeats being a catalyst, and then I thought about it since then. So that's I've been thinking about it. That wait, like it's way beyond Afrobeats, and the only time we think about people going back to their roots is when they're going for festivities or something. There are still some underground work that people have been doing that has been taking them back to the roots that we don't even know. I know, Adiola, you mentioned in the last episode too of this guy, Wode Maya, what's his name? I'm sorry, I don't know his name.
Mr. Ghana Baby.
Yeah, some guy on YouTube that interviews people that relocate back to Africa. And you will notice that people have been relocating in tons of people have been relocating. But it's not something they do only in December or when everybody's doing it. You just find out, they just pick up and go. So those are the things that I thought of. That's why I thought of this topic, that back to the roots, that we need to dig deep and find out people that are actually going back, or what has been the catalyst that has been making even the world interested in the roots. Like what has been making everyone wants to know their DNA, like you mentioned. They want to buy Africa. They want to buy our clothes. They want to wear kente. They want to do that. Everybody wants to feel connected. So I think that's what made me feel like, let's just keep it at this topic. We have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah. There's actually a group called Blackzit on Facebook, and it's literally Black people who are exiting the United States.
Oh, Blackzit. Yeah.
Blackzit. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting to see that it's not just people who are young. There are, moms who want to relocate with their teenage sons, single mothers, parents, grandparents. It really is a combination of so many different ages and so many different people who are at different stages in their life. But I feel like when we talk about going back home, it's like, okay, I'm young, I don't have kids, whatever. Let me just,
get up and go.
Yeah, but there are lots of whole families who are just like relocating, back to Africa. So it's just interesting to watch that it's not just, America is great, for all our resources that we have. And I'm sure England is the same way, but, there's something about being around your own people. And around your own people, and you guys are the majority. Like, you don't find anywhere else. So
there's nothing like that feeling. I think it was I speaking with my white co-worker, and he was asking me that why did I decide to come to America with my family. I was like, I thought of it, and it's just because of the security, and it's kind of conducive for my kids to grow in. That's why I picked it. But apart from that, man, you can't beat the fun I have in Nigeria. You can't beat it was like, really? I said, I said, nah, dude, don't even let me start. The enjoyment, the fun, and everything we have in my country, it's so good.
The life, the good food, the scenery, the greenery, the music. Come on.
We can keep going. I told you, dude, that the fun, we close, we're going to the hotel now, we're talking about where do we go for lunch? Nigeria, you know where you are going already.
Right.
From Monday.
You have too many options.
It's so you don't have to think about it. Even if you go to the spots over here, there's just something that is not there. The fun, dude, it's just the security and the good life for our kids. That's why we're really here. So, apart from that, and that's the painful part, that if our country could have that for us, then why do we gotta leave? Now it feels like if you want to go back to the roots, you have to calculate the cost of your own security and the cost of conducive living. You have to supply your own power and security. Even if it's possible, if God will catch you, you now go and build out
and trust.
Exactly. If God will catch you, you now build. You are the most richest guy in your neighborhood. You now build your house. They will now be looking at it. I should help us do this road.
But the thing is, I think that's where there's power in numbers. Because 1 million naira for just to use our home currency, 1 million naira might seem like a lot of money to one person, but 1 million naira to 100 people, 1 million naira to 1,000 people, there's just power in numbers. And it's just like Esosa said, it's just so beautiful to see people going back to the roots. Even I'm not even talking in the last 1 to 2 years. Some people are established. Some people are already speaking the language, even if it's just the basic greetings. It's just beautiful to see. And one thing I think I reckon as well, it's just timing, because when you think about it as well, like slavery in America probably spanned for around 400 years. And even though on paper slavery ended about 149 years ago or thereabouts, in the grand scheme of things, that's only 2 to 3 generations ago. Let's even say maybe the first generation, they were so used to being slaves that there was no escape route. They didn't have the financial power, they didn't have the information available to them, they didn't have the resources, they didn't know anybody back home as well. The second generation, probably they started digging deeper, and with the rise of the internet as well, information is just out there. There are so many things that people even tell you, because I was saying to my auntie earlier today that even when twerking first hit the scene, I was kind of like, what is actually going on? People don't dance no more. And I tell you that somebody actually told me that, it might have been commercialized now. I don't understand how powerful music and entertainment and dance is. But that actual movement of twerking is actually deep-rooted in Africa. It originated from Cote d'Ivoire. I think it's called Mapoka or something. So it just goes to show you that people, even those of us who should be knowledgeable, because the person that told me wasn't even a Black person initially. Wow. So I had to then quickly do a Google search and be like, I knew that. But it's just the information is there. I also guess people are a lot more inquisitive and have information at their fingertips. And I feel like a lot of the younger generation are also just spontaneous. Some of them are even the ones encouraging their parents, like, let's go. Like, I've been going back home. I've been going for the Dirty December. I've been going for the festivals, and I want to be there. So I guess
let me even add to this. Now that you mentioned the whole twerking thing, there was this lady. I don't remember her name. She came on the Jimmy Fallon show, and she came only because she was using her teeth to open beer corks. And I was like, when in Nigeria people are using it to open crates. And I was like, and it was and people were like, wow, this. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
That's the first rule of engagement when you start drinking.
Exactly. That's how they know you are mature enough in Nigeria.
And she was telling the story. She was like, we're on a boat cruise. We forgot the opener, and I just said, I'll just open it. Jimmy Fallon said, wow. I said, hey.
You will see now. You see, they will now. She's imagine she's on Jimmy Fallon. You can imagine the millions of viewers that have seen that. Then they will now say the first woman that opened bottle with her teeth. That's how they will change history.
Yes, now
they will change history. And you know,
that's where I was going, because, like we said some times ago, we need to start rewriting our own narrative. Even till now, whatever we have that is written about Africa is still written by the third party. We believe who they call us we are, right?
Who they say we are, exactly.
Yeah, so they defined us. Imagine somebody coming to Nigeria telling us that they discovered River Niger. Hey, come on. people around the river has been there before you came.
They've been diving in it, they've been bathing it, drinking the water.
You understand? But till today, this is what we still teach in our schools. So until we get to a point where we start appreciating our local content, and that's why you see, I remember those days. You don't want to wear native. Every one of us, 501 jeans, this one jeans, all that, as a young boy, when your parents saw, I did it very well. If you saw me native then, it will be on that hanger till it gets spoiled. I'm not going to wear it. I want to wear jeans. Everybody, because people now appreciate the way we dress. So I like the way you dress. Now people want to go back to the basics and start dressing that way. Even outsiders they now want to dress like African. Look at the kente, look at the Ghanaian this thing. They use it everywhere. Look at when the entire Senate and the House use the kente to cover themselves and all that. The beginning of
in America.
Now we have the Wakanda
and the dashiki.
The dashiki, yes.
Man, that dashiki, he has come out.
It's just all going back to the roots. They're all trying to connect.
Another thing that Chadwick's death really brought to my attention was I've heard it like over the last few years that representation matters. Like representation really, and it really hit home over the last couple of days. Like it's so true. I've seen so many videos of kids, 7-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and it's that representation really matters. Again, that's another thing that's come out of the entertainment industry, so to speak, because we're getting represented. We're no longer seen as people that live in trees or just uncivilized.
And look at it. I think it was Akon that was telling some of the musicians here. He said, when you shoot your videos here, you borrow diamonds and gold, and all. When you go to they own it. So all those things that the musicians are using, and they own it. And Africans, we're proud people. The way our culture is totally different. You want to buy stuff, you want to own it. Not that I have this mortgage I'm paying. No, you own it. You don't have
the government anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So until we rewrite our own narratives and help people from outside to understand, we're getting there. It's better than it used to be. Now we're appreciating the local content. We're going back to basic. People want to go back and see what they can do. I tell you this, maybe I mentioned it. One of my friends in Maryland, he brings in cream from Nigeria, like moisturizing, skin treatment cream. I think they made it from shea butter and all of that. In a month on eBay right now, they clock about 10,000 a month.
$10,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
They bring it from Nigeria and just rebrand it here and sell on eBay. And that is on a small quantity. In those days, you want your cream, your soap must be from UK, from US. Exactly. And these are the things the likes of Obasanjo and Dick were fighting for in those days. You give us tea. You come in and give us Bonvita. You come in and give us a lot. But you're coming to Nigeria to take the raw materials, and you're coming back. But because it's made abroad, I remember those days you will have Bonvita made in the UK, Bonvita made in Nigeria, and you don't want Nigeria made.
Yeah, just like the cereal. Then we didn't eat cornflakes. Now it's Kellogg's. It's Kellogg's. No, it's cornflakes.
Exactly. Now you want to go to African store to buy the made in Nigeria one.
Yeah. Now we're going and we're paying double.
In the UK, we're really big on Niger Guinness.
Exactly.
Niger Guinness.
So you see that things are changing. We're appreciating the culture. The main problem we have now is systemic. It's about the leadership. You understand? If we can get rid of that, like I was listening to the issue of meter distribution this morning on one of the news, and it's annoying that the end users have to pay for it. Even though you're not paying their salary, you're not giving them electricity, they still have to pay for it, for the meter to get the service that you need. It doesn't make sense, but we're not there yet. One day we will get there. But at least we're going into the right direction.
It's all like I think the point that you've made a good point about we have to rewrite our own narrative, and that's part of what we talked about last week about how Afrobeat has been helping to rewrite that narrative. Now we are singing our songs the way we sing it. We're not trying to. Even Davido too he attested to the fact that when he was trying to go to America to do an album with the American artists and foreign artists, it didn't really work out for him until he came back to Nigeria to do the Nigerian style of music. That's when his career started picking up all over again. So I think it's just about us rewriting. Okay, this is who we are, but let's work with what we are and who we are. Just like the same way you're talking about native, I've had experiences before where I want to go out to the club. I remember back then we'd be like, it would be so cool to go out to the club with your native and your normal palm sandals, and they won't have to kick you out. Because normally, if you want to go to the club, you gotta be in like covered shoes, dress well. Until all of a sudden, I think I went out with a couple of guys, and most of us were wearing native. We went somewhere. I think it was an engagement somewhere. And I'm like, let's go to the club. Let's just go hang out somewhere. And I was like, don't we have to go change? I don't want to change you. I don't want to wear, because we're all wearing palm sandals and this thing. Like, I know this club will allow us in. And I could tell you that we got there. By the time we got there, they were even welcoming. They didn't check IDs. Normally they check some IDs on some people. But when they saw us, with native, looking all good, with native boys, the guy it was even the cop at the entrance, like, hey, you're coming. Like, he said we should walk past the line. Like, you guys can come. I'm like, Then the guys that took me there, like, this is where all the senators and ministers in Nigeria, when they come now, this is where they spend money. So they would think that we're them. Okay. So they know our native now that if you see them in native, they are coming to spend.
And apart from that, you see the way it makes you look, the way you feel it. I mean, when you wear your native, you feel different. Not even look, you feel different. Like, I'm different.
Like the Indians will wear their attire, their native attire. The Indians are
to the point
popular.
that at a time in Nigeria, Nigerian girls, Nigerian ladies, myself inclusive, we were really, really crazy. I think my final year dinner as well, I wore an Indian looking attire. So just imagine because
so it's just us. We got to present that.
We were influenced.
Exactly. It's our arts and entertainment that is influencing a lot. And I think that's good thing I like about Nigeria. That I think our arts and entertainment is really, really influencing and encouraging the world to accept us. And that's another call that I think we need to call out to Nollywood. I mean, no matter what, I'm going to say something. Even as bad as it looks in Nollywood, it is still kind of like a plus for Nigeria, because I can remember when I first got here and I met a lady. She's a nurse and she was talking about I love these guys, Aki and Popo. I'm like, even me, I don't really battle these guys. They don't look that funny. They're funny, but it got to a point they started doing the same thing, so it wasn't really funny to me. And she was like, man, that I can watch them all day, that I watch them a lot. She said she has CDs of them. I'm like, really? And then she now said that thank God for YouTube, now it's now free on YouTube. I'm like, okay, wait, like, are you related to any Nigerian? Is your daughter like dating a Nigerian or anyone? I said, no, I don't know where my daughter found it from. She just stumbled on them, and we've loved them since then. Introduce art to our culture that we felt like every time I go to work, we felt close. I'll be gisting like, my sisters, but she's not. I think I'm the only Nigerian she knows. Wow. But it was just through Nollywood that she's known. But she's black too, though. So that has introduced her to, this is how Africans do. But I just had to tell her that, wait, this is not really how Raz we are, though. We got some cool things about us.
That's why I had to wait.
No. You gotta present us good now.
I think that we're able to, because it's our own, we're able to criticize certain things, But I promise you see exactly how it is. Because I used to be of that opinion as well. I just feel like Nollywood, how it is now, is where it needs to be. I can only advise that there needs to be two different sectors. There needs to be the Nollywood of
now it is where it is.
There needs to be the Nollywood of
But previously it was not where it was. We're not proud of it.
Exactly.
Previously.
No, but the thing is, what I'm trying to say is,
and what I'm talking about is years ago, not now.
No, but you see those years ago movies, go. Those are the ones they like. I'm telling you. My auntie has friends who are from the Caribbean. They don't want because the thing is, when you think about it, I don't know about anyone else, but it's for me, like when I travel somewhere, I don't understand people who, like, I'm leaving the UK, I'm not going to look for food, I'm not going to look for fish and chips or pie and mash when I leave the UK. For what reason? I just feel like even though we're like, what Nollywood is doing, they could do better. Why do I want to watch the Nollywood of, oh yes, the 1% of the 1%.
No.
That's not
what we're talking about.
They want to see that proper. I feel like the only thing that was lacking before is actually the cinematography, the sound issues, those kind of things. But
the storyline too, though. But the storyline too, though.
I'm telling you, that is what they like. We as Nigerians.
Yeah, but that is what they like. But is that what we really are, though? Imagine someone seeing you in America and thinking you're from the village.
The Hollywood that you're watching, the Hollywood movie that you're watching. No, the Hollywood movies, because is that how America is?
Right now is portraying, they're still portraying the villages, but they are doing it and much more higher quality.
Like what Mo Abudu and Kemi Adetiba are doing now. I mean, they're still representing us. We're not faking anything, but they're representing the new generation. So that's why I had to tell her that, that the Aki Abapo thing, there are people like that in Nigeria, but we still have, because they'll still be looking at you with that. It's just like, imagine them looking at you, you wear native and you're looking all good. It'll be like, the same work that I told you, there was a co-worker, I said, I'm not going to eat they brought free cold sandwiches for us. I think I mentioned this over here too. And they brought free cold sandwich. I said, I'm not going to eat it. I don't feel like eating cold sandwich. Like, which one is this one? I'd rather eat something else. And the dude actually told me to my face and thought everybody was going to laugh that, that you got choices now? I'm like, damn, in my mind, I was like, oh boy, if I catch you outside. So, because I'm from Africa, I'm from Nigeria, I don't have choice. Anything they give me, I must eat it.
But the thing is, I feel like those things, the onus is on them. It's not on you, because when you think about it, I don't know how familiar you guys are with movies and films and everything. But when you think of Jim Carrey in The Mask, and when you think of the likes of Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, there are people, Americans, British, people all over the world who don't really deal with that kind of humor. What Jim Carrey does, it doesn't tickle everyone's fancy. That
even Eddie Murphy.
Exactly, even Eddie Murphy, it doesn't tickle everyone's fancy, but it's a genre on its own. I don't feel like those things should be phased out at all.
No, I didn't say it should be phased out too. I just said we should be represented.
The misconception is on them, because when you see some certain high school movies, that's not what high school is about. But people don't go around thinking, in my high school, they're doing this, they're doing that. It's about changing the narrative that, yes, you can watch a movie. Okay, Matrix, for example. No, but I don't believe that anybody feels like, when you get to America and somebody shoots at you, you can just do that. And
you can do it.
Again, it's because they have those misconceptions. Yeah, but it's on them. It's not on you. It's on them. And that's why we have to change the narrative. So whatever we've put out there, they enjoy it as that piece of art.
Speaking of enjoyment, that I want to shout out the African hair braiders. Because the African hair braiders I feel like they are very instrumental in carrying, the movie culture across platforms. Because when Adeola, I'm sure you know, like when you go to the African hair salon, you're going to see a Nigerian movie or an African movie playing, right?
Yeah.
You're always going to see that. Even today, you're always going to see that. So I feel like that culture in itself of just going to the hair salon, whether I'm black, whether I'm white, whether I'm whatever, going there, experiencing that movie, it's stuck in my brain. Now I'm taking that. I'm sharing with my mom. I'm sharing it with my grandparents. I'm sharing it with everybody. So I just want to shout out the African hair braiders.
Shout out. It's true.
Well, sadly, the Babas don't do that. They'll be playing trap music. So.
And we don't have African Babas too, like that. We don't have them now. We don't have African Babas too.
But they play Afrobeat now, so
exactly. Now they play Afrobeat.
Right.
Leave a comment when you get a chance.
Okay, let me read a few comments. Charles said, Omo Naija mo le finishi Pepsi. That is him just talking about the opening of Crown Cork with your teeth. He also said native that year no get swag, which was true. No one wanted to wear the native. More. He said internet infused fashion forward with native. Well, that's true. Let's see. Olushola said it is a paradox indeed. We need to drive our own narrative. And he said a Caucasian friend of mine was wearing Ankara the other day, and she had picked it from Gambia or something.
Shout out to the Gambia.
Yeah. So
there's lots of work in kind of like infusing that culture as well. So
yeah, shout out to
everybody today.
Shout out to I think other African countries.
Right.
Kenya. I was speaking with a friend recently, and we were talking about, even if you are saying all this back to the roots, where do you think you can relocate to in Africa that you feel is really safe and as receptive and going to accept you and give you a place where you can be? And someone told me that Kenya is working. Is it Kenya or Rwanda now? That they're working.
Yeah, Kenya, Rwanda to Rwanda.
Some of them are. I think, but either two of them or one of the two is really working towards becoming the tech capital of Africa.
That's Kenya.
Yeah, I think that's Kenya. Kenya is working towards being tech.
Being in the lead when it comes to IT. You know, they started the Shady and all of those stuff. They have big, beautiful hubs in Kenya. But, you know, Nigeria can easily overtake. That's why we're taking everything, because now we have a lot of the hubs moved to Nigeria. And you know, like, you see,
Nigeria is sleeping giants. We won't do it. That's why I'm sorry to cut you short, but we won't do it. We'll let other African countries start. We will not start our own. We will not be bigger than them. Those ones will not be mad at us that you people have come again. The same way they are mad at us for taking over.
But is it that we are not? Is it that we are not starting it, or there's just a lot of bottleneck in Nigeria due to politicians?
The bottleneck is still there, and people are still doing it. So the thing is, sometimes you get scared of, you know, how to start. You know, will they accept this? You know, I was discussing with a friend when we were playing golf earlier, and he was telling
big mountains playing golf.
Spending.
So it was telling me about a couple of our friends back home that started some digital printing. You know, for me, if you ask me to go start digital printing in Nigeria, first of all, are they ready to pay for it? Two, electricity.
Yeah, you know, that's even my own number one, electricity.
Electricity, I feel like electricity is definitely number one. Electricity is it, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 of them, in fact 4 now, have started this digital print and they're doing well. You know, so we need to let people understand that we will accept them if they have what they are bringing and they can, you know, Africans are very accommodating. A lot of African countries are very accommodating, especially to foreigners. When people come in, they can easily settle. So you don't need to be scared. I always refer to what's his name? Akon. Akon sold everything he had here, and he still talked to a lot of the musicians here. Like, you know what? Bring your money to Africa. Within a year or two that Akon started the Light Up Africa project, he raised over $1 billion. People have said, and he would come out and tell you that this is business. It's not for free, but people need the services. It's not like we don't want to pay for it, but we don't have it. So people need the services. So if you go there and give the services, then people will pay. You'll be surprised that people will pay for it. We're talking about supporting IT support. You can do IT. It's cheaper to have workers in Nigeria and support here. The Indians are able to, you know, get the market, but we can still get into the market.
Yeah, I actually thought of that. I was speaking with someone about that IT support. That what stops us, like really, India and what's the other country? Philippines. Israel and Philippines are the number one customer service support for America. That's why if you call customer service, you will either hear an Indian person or an Asian person on the phone. They have cheap labor. They pay them to answer the customer service in America or anywhere in the world. Why can't we do that in Nigeria? I was talking to someone, why don't we set up like an hub like that, and we just employ graduates. You do customer service for companies in America. Like, why must it go to India only? And why can't we do that in Nigeria? Why can't we sustain that?
Internet, those are things that we can. Electricity.
It really is the infrastructure.
The infrastructure, that's it. The internet services and the electricity, and they really do go hand in hand. But when I was on Twitter the other day, and it was just all bans, and people were doing screenshots from their iPhone of their mobile data usage. And I'm not sure from when it was, whether it was over the last 3 to 6 months or over the last year. And I'm telling you, some people's data was 204 gig, 124 gig. And I'm like, okay, let me even check mine to see. I checked mine, it was 9.2. And I'm somebody that yes, I'm telling, and I'm somebody that is always online. Like, if you know me, I'm always online.
I thought yours would be unlimited or something.
They are so
no, that's what I mean. But remember, I'm relying on it. No, remember, I have my Wi-Fi, so that's what I'm saying. My mobile data was 9.6. That's what I've consumed. So we're talking about the data usage. People in Nigeria on 240, 300. Whether it's from the start of the year or the last 3 months, I'm not sure what the data analytics is through the iPhone, but whatever time frame it is, I'm thinking 9.6 to 200 and something. It's huge.
Yeah,
that's
they
because
depend
they don't
on
have
it a
any
lot.
backup. They depend on the mobile data. That's it.
You can't rely on the government.
And from a business model, you want to go where you can make the most. You don't want to be spending all your income or your profit on just electricity and
that's my I mean, as much as we're saying that Nigeria has the opportunity, they want us to come to do things in Nigeria, I really think we need to just go beyond the surface of just complaining and just try to find out, okay, what are the policies on ground? Is the what's their taxing policies for an upcoming business? Because it's beyond that. Okay, I'm going to provide. I think the startup is the fear. The startup cost for any business in Nigeria is the biggest thing. We talked about it like how many episodes ago when they said to fly a drone in Nigeria. You see how much you have to pay just to fly a drone in Nigeria.
Why?
Meanwhile, yeah, you gotta pay for the what's that thing called permit.
Okay.
The permit to so imagine if I remember back then when someone, well, I don't know about now, but like that was years ago, probably like 8-10 years ago, about you trying to set up a radio station, just a radio station or TV station, a media outfit in Nigeria. You would have to wait till you get a permit directly from the federal government, directly from the president, before you can even set it up. So that's why you notice that it's only like you would have to find like a politician to bankroll you. To bankroll you before you can set up anything.
That bankrolling,
I have to use that word. So that's why back then in Nigeria, you might have good ideas, you have everything, but to actually set up the policies on ground in Nigeria is not encouraging. I don't know if they are changing it now due to the back to the roots now. They notice that people are coming back home. So I think their policies are changing, but it will be really good.
I don't think the policies are going to change unless the government changes. That's just what it is. You know, you have people who are you're going to have people who are in positions of power that don't want to let go of their power. They don't want to let go of their control. So because of that, it becomes something that is very, very difficult to do. Even if you have the relationship with a political person in power, you're going to go through a lot of loopholes with that person themselves to be where you need to get to. So it's not just that one person. You need to go through a whole chain of command.
Exactly, and that's what we're talking about. That's what really needs to be changed before people start going back to the roots. I'm sure for Kenya, and I was joking with a friend of mine that you know how much it costs to get citizenship to some countries. We looked at some. I think I saw a post online. I looked about some countries. What it takes for you to be a citizen in that country, you might need to invest in the country. Exactly. And they have the amount of money you have to invest. They have the sector of there's one island that I think it's Barbados or something. You have to invest in the tourism sector for them to even consider to give you citizenship. Do we have all that policies in place in Nigeria where you are opening it up to people? Okay, you want to come back to invest. Okay, you're coming from Britain. What do? If you invest in this sector, we'll consider giving you this investment too that I saw for some. Depending on how much you invest, depending on how much you're involved in the country, it will determine if the citizenship will be only for you or for you and your family of 2 kids only. And there are other countries that, depending on the investment you do, that it will determine if you can still, the investment can be carried over for generations to come. So if you get it now, if I get it now, my family has it. Anyone that is bearing my family name has the rights to the citizenship due to the fact that I invested this amount of money. So those are the policies that I'm talking about, that is welcoming people back to. And these are not even African countries. So I checked, they're like Bermuda and all those. This is not even Africa. So what do we have in place to welcome people back? Constant mentioned something about shea butter. Shea butter, cocoa are all Nigerian products. They have it in abundance.
Right.
There was a day I ate a chocolate. I ate a chocolate, and I was so happy to see on the chocolate that I look at the wrapper, and I not even made in Nigeria. It was made in somewhere, but they wrote it. It was made in, I think, in UK. They said the cocoa was sourced from Kenya or Ghana. Yeah. They acknowledged that they call the cocoa.
They started doing that. Even with coffee now, you can.
Yeah, they acknowledge where they got the cocoa from. And I was like, this is it. This is what I mean, what we want. And I was like, yeah, this is it. They didn't make it in Kenya. They didn't make it in Ghana. But they acknowledged that this cocoa was sourced from this. And to me, I'm telling you, like, this, the chocolate just tasted different. This is good.
Do you know the most beautiful metals are found in Africa?
Exactly.
Palladium and the platinum. The majority of it are found in Africa. This thing they use for catalyst in cars. Do you know how many millions or billions of cars are in the world? And they go back to a lot of those African countries, and you don't even know that they are tapping those resources there.
They don't acknowledge them. The government is just selling it
forever. They've been and if you look at Nigerian narrative and why we're where we are today, as it was written by the British, is they realized that some of the fathers that fought for our freedom, they were very wise, very smart, and they knew they were going to lose, and they wrote the narrative they wanted, because our Zik will have led Nigeria very well. They wrote the narrative, they sold it the way they wanted to sell it, and that's why we are here today. But the thing is, it's over 50 years. We can't keep blaming these people. Nigeria, we've been brought together as one. We're not separated. We're not going anywhere. In fact,
some people think otherwise.
People will say it, but do you know it's going to be
the same people? That's the
problem. It's more dangerous for Nigeria to separate than for us to sit down and say, let's come together. So what we are doing is a body telling, the eyes telling the ears that you are not part of the body, or hands telling the leg that you're not part of the body. What does it take for the government to build roads from the north to the south to the east and let everybody? What does it take by encouraging innocent to keep producing vehicles and you start importing vehicles from abroad? What will it take you to have more than one Dangote? And
it's a mindset change. It has to be from the individual, like I mentioned in our last podcast. It has to be from the individual level.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things that we want are great and everything like that. But if people do not decide and make up their minds that this is the type of governor I'm going to be, this is the type of president I'm going to be, the type of senator I'm going to be, it's not
on whose fault is that? The people. I mean,
they don't hold them accountable.
I'm sorry, I will keep saying it. I've tasted it. I've been there. The thing is, I keep asking people, a couple of the people I work with, then, that how many times have you gone back to your leaders, your rep member, your senator, and say, "Oga, why did we even vote you in? What have you done for this community?"
Accountability.
But you know what? One of the guys we work together said 2 weeks ago, he was about to pay for some school stuff. And he's a politician as well. And I asked him, I said, I met you in politics. You are still there. You are still doing yes, sir, yes, sir. You have not even gotten any position. You keep following this politician. Who are you voting for at this time? He mentioned the person. I said, go to him and ask for money. It's not that I can't give it to you, but you have influence in your community. People will follow you. They listen to you. And you're following the same person who does not recognize you, who has not done anything for the people, and you want to vote him in again. And you are coming here to ask me for money. How about now?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, guys. I'm not sure if there's any if there are any comments that you'd like to read out, but because there are 5 of us today, once Ife is done reading the comments, I think we'll just give our closing comments and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. Shola said Kenya is working hard, and that's when we had a conversation about them trying to be the digital hub or the tech hub for Africa. And he said Nigeria has volume now, though, meaning, I guess we're doing stuff. But Deji said there's always ways to localize your startup in Africa. So for closing remarks, there's this question. Akon had an interview a long while ago, and he said this. He said, everything African Americans are doing where they are, either be it in US or, wherever you are that is not Africa, don't do it, stop it, and do everything in Africa. I mean, if you're doing into real estate, if you're into whatever, do it. Although they wanted to chop off his head, I think the question now as we close should be, how can they relocate or start a business, especially one, if they do not know anyone in Nigeria or have never been in Nigeria. It's easier for us because we either have family or friends or contacts, but someone who, let's say, is into real estate or doing something else that has never been to Nigeria and want to start a business or, go back to the roots, what will be your advice? What will be your 2 cents? I think Esosa, you can hit that first.
Wow. Okay. So I guess I will toot my horn a little bit here. So last year I started a real estate nonprofit called Dwell Africa, and what we are doing, we're actually trying to answer this question that you're asking now, which is, okay, I relocate to Africa, now what? Who are the people? What is the environment like? Where am I going to get my furniture from? Who is going to pick me up from the airport? What's the market looking like? Where am I going to find my supplies? These are so many questions that we may not think about when we relocate back to Africa, but it's something that my team and I have really started to think about. So it's obviously the project is still in the works, but I think the best thing right now is just to do your research, right? Do your research. There are so many people who have actually moved back to Africa who are African Americans or Africans, and they are experiencing the day-to-day struggles. They're experiencing the day-to-day life. Join the Facebook groups. There are Facebook groups out there, like I mentioned earlier, with Blackzit. They're really heavy also on Twitter and on Instagram. So have those conversations. Don't be scared to ask the questions that people usually don't think about, And I think the more and more you start to ask the questions about your regular day-to-day lifestyle, because you can ask about the government, you can ask about all of these different stuff that's outside of you. But the way you're going to feel comfortable, I believe, is to ask the stuff that matters to you personally on a day-to-day basis, right? Like job search, for example. How are you going to make your income? What kind of businesses can you start up? Again, where can I find my supplies, whether it's for my house, for my business? Maybe if you're a new mother and you're moving back with your child, what types of prenatal resources are there? What types of healthcare is there? And again, to Shup's point, it's not just Nigeria and Ghana. There's Senegal, there's Liberia, there's the Gambia, there's Kenya, there's Ethiopia. There's so much more. I mean, yes, we get that Nigeria and Ghana are popular in the States here, but there are so many other beautiful, beautiful countries that you can relocate to. So just keep that in mind.
South Africa already have the system in place.
Yeah.
And I know Kenya is working hard to have that same system in place where people can go back in. Excuse me, but I will throw this open. I've had this idea for a while. I've engaged someone who's been lazy on working on it. It's like the yellow page. So I wanted to build a website that has a yellow page, kind of that have all the information in Nigeria. And I have a friend who runs a very functional call center in Lagos. So wanting to work with him where we can have links to every ministry to get information for people that are coming. Then you can call into the call center and find out, oh, I want to come do business here, and they will get you legitimate business partners or contacts or things you want. You understand? There's a lady that does real estate too, like you, that they already have houses, they build for people, then they help people manage it. So for Airbnb, you already have all this stuff going on in Nigeria. You can have places with security to stay out in Nigeria if you want to go to, and we can tell you how much the daily living will cost. So those are the things we all can work together or get people to do. I'm throwing it in now because a lot of people will pick from this idea and go and build on it. I don't care. But as long as it works, you understand, that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
We're not going to wait for the government. Forget it. These people, they don't even know what number of population Nigeria has. Right? We keep saying 200 million. It's narrative from outside. When last did we have our own
our accurate census? When last did we have an accurate census?
Each state wants to do card. They want to register their citizens. I know people are chopping money on top of this thing. We don't want that. Whatever we citizens can do is what will take Nigeria to the next thing. Forget this that this government people that let them just be running. One day, when we turn around, we will take over. You know.
Right.
I think because of time, we're running out of time. My own final point would be that we're really running out of time. But I would encourage everyone that is watching, that is listening, please follow the Nigerian Space on Facebook and on Twitter. We are on Twitter. We are at Nigerian Space. On Instagram, we are the Nigerian Space, and on Facebook, we are the Nigerian Space. So follow those our handles, follow our social media pages, and like Constance said, we're going to be sharing a lot of information. So I think we will carry this discussion onto our probably Facebook page, and we're going to post all the links that we have. I see in the comment that Shola Musho mentioned Deji Adeogun that cracked the digital printing world. We have a lot of people that have cracked things that are doing great things in Nigeria. So we're just gonna like carry this discussion over, kind of like after party discussion to So if anybody wants to discuss more about this and know more about this information, we're gonna have it on our Facebook page, the Nigerian Space, and we're gonna throw in more. Constant, if you can remember those links and everything that we have, let's put it up on there on our pages, on our Facebook page especially, and follow us, subscribe. And I don't know if Diola has anything to say before we round up.
I think everything's pretty much been covered. Just to chip in my own 2 pence to what Ife's question was, I feel like again it's just a mindset. There are people that up and leave to other countries that are not in Africa. What do you do when you're going to those countries? You do the same thing. Sometimes it's not just about getting up one day, packing your load and saying, now I'm going to Nigeria. I wouldn't do that if I was moving to Italy. What I would probably do is I might go to Italy for 2 weeks and come back home. I might go and make my contacts there myself and come back. I might try to connect to certain people on social media. I feel like we need to get to that place where we don't treat Africa as separate from the world, because Africans have been migrating to America with little to no information from time, and we've survived. So I just feel like if you're really determined to go back to your roots, if you're really tired, like Shoops has said, follow our social media handles. It's something that we're really, really passionate about. We're passionate about our country. We're passionate about Africa. We'll try to get those information, throw it out there, because we want to see everyone win. You know, honestly, like someone said, all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. So we can't be proud to be Africans until all of us are winning. So whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Ghana, obviously we will always be more passionate about Nigeria because those are our roots. But like Esosa said, it's not just Nigeria and Ghana in Africa. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So the only other thing I would say, just to add on to, please follow our social media handles. Send us a DM if there are any questions, anything that you feel like people need to be aware of, whether it's your own personal business, whether it's someone that you are aware of who is making big moves that they just need a platform to air what they are doing to the rest of the world. Reach out to us. We are not proud now. We are your people. And that's pretty much all I have to say, in all honesty. It's been a great show, guys. Thanks so much, Esosa. It's always a pleasure having you on here. Thanks a lot, Constant. You're always coming with the facts. Coming with the facts. Love it. And Shups and Ife, as usual, thanks so much for making this platform available to us as well, because these are the brains. Me, I'm just the mouth. I'm just talking. But yeah, thanks to our viewers. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for tuning in every week. We appreciate it. We see you, recognize you, and have a great week.
All right, guys. Don't forget.
All right. See ya.
Talk later. Bye, guys.